Alright, the time is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All regular amateur radio traffic, please stand by because you're now listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday night net, heard every Thursday night here on the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club frequencies and the University Link repeater system. We will not have any scheduled pauses for emergency traffic, but we will yield the air to any breaking emergency. With that in mind, please leave room between check-ins and transmissions to allow for any emergency traffic. I'm transmitting tonight from South Austin using the 147.320 repeater. For more information regarding the club's repeater system, and how to become a member, please visit n5oak.org. You can also participate in this net using the University Link repeater system. For more information about the University Link repeater system, please visit ka5d.com. If you're listening through the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system and wish to participate, be sure to set your tone to 114.8 hertz. For the University Link repeater system, set your tone to 97.4 hertz. For club members, we also have our very own Thursday night net channel on Discord. So swing by and say hello and to everyone who's hanging out during the net. My name is Chad, call sign KC5AJE, and I'll be your net controller for this evening. This is my second net, and so if you'll continue to be patient with me, I'd really appreciate it. This is a controlled net. The station should refrain from transmitting until designated check-in or comment times. If you're a new ham or just new to the net, the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday night net is a social net. We get together every week to ask questions, share knowledge, and tell everyone what's going on in our world. It's really easy to check in. In just a moment, I'll ask for check-ins and take down a list of all stations who wish to participate. Once we have everyone checked in, I'll go down the list one at a time and give you the floor. Feel free to ask questions pertaining to ham radio, tell us about something you've been working on, or just say hello. We'd love to hear from you. If you missed the first round of check-ins, don't worry, we'll catch you on the next round. If you could do me a favor and please avoid topics of politics, religion, or anything else potentially inflammatory, and keep it civil, I'd really appreciate it. It's time for station identification, and then we'll start opening up the net for short-time check-ins, so please stand by. This is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday night net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. If you're just joining us through the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system and wish to participate, be sure your tone is set to 114.8 hertz. If you're using the University Link repeater system, please set your tone to 97.4 hertz. Again, my name is Chad, call sign KC5AJE, and I'm your net controller for tonight's net. With that being said, it's time for short-time check-ins. Short-time check-ins are for operators who cannot stay on for the entire net or just have to pop in real quick and go, dealing with family or whatever else is going on over at your place. Short-time check-ins can report no traffic, meaning you don't have anything to say but would like to be listed as a check-in, or you can just check in short-time and I'll hand you the floor for a brief message. If you check in short time and later want to rejoin the net, you can always recheck later in the evening. For those that have never checked into a net before, I'll model the process. When I open up the floor for check-ins, you'll start by keying up and saying, "This is," and then let go of the PTT and let the repeater reset. And if you don't hear anything between saying "this is" and unkeying your PTT, the odds are you're probably not doubling with anybody, and so you can go ahead and key up again and say your call sign, your name, and where you're joining us from this evening. Again, if you could, when you say your call sign, repeat it slowly, phonetically, and twice, I would really appreciate that. busy and don't have long, but still want to check in at short times, come now with your name and call sign, please.
This is November 5, Sierra Mike Oscar, N5SMO, Bill, North Austin. Short time, no traffic.
This is Alpha India 5, Hotel Papa. That's AI 5HP. Aaron and Buda, checking in short time.
This is I didn't do it. This is Kilo India 5, Yankee India Alpha, Marshall and South Austin, no traffic.
This is Pat, W5WTH, Whiskey 5, Whiskey Tango Hotel, short time, no traffic.
This is Kilo India 6, Hotel Quebec Tango, Ken in South Austin, no traffic. This is Kilo India 5, Uniform Kilo Foxtrot, KI5 UKS, Steve in Dripping Springs, short time, no traffic.
This is Kilo India 5, Zulu India Bravo, Brandon in South Austin, no traffic.
All right, that was a pretty good round. So the net recognizes Bill in 5SMO. He had no traffic. Good to hear from you, Bill. Next up on the list was Aaron, AI5HP, and he checked in short time. So what's going on, Aaron?
This is AI5HP. Aaron here. Hey, Chad, thank you for running the net tonight. I just wanted to check in and say hi to everybody. I'll be back on a little bit to help out with some of the exam questions, but I did get a end-fed halfway antenna that I picked up on that River website, and according to Discord, I probably paid way too much for it, but whatever, man. I've got an end-fed halfway. I'm going to try to put it up this weekend. And what that means is I'll be able to return the loaner that Ernesto let me use last month. Maybe it was the month before. It's been a while, and I need to get that back to him. So, yeah, we'll see how it works. And ideally, by me getting my own antenna, I'll be able to be a little bit more risky in terms of the height and all that sort of thing, and not have to worry about how I'm going to get it back down to return it to him. But yeah, that's all I got going on, and yeah, good to hear everybody checking in. So yeah, this is AI5HP back to net control.
Well, right on, Aaron. Yeah, that's probably pretty liberating to a certain extent to have your own setup to be able to put up. It's a bummer about the price, but you know, you can always chalk that up to lessons learned. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody at some point has made you know, some sort of error in that type of way in the past. So wouldn't beat yourself up about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You'll still be able to use it. But before I let you go, does anybody have anything for Aaron? AI5HP. Come now with your name and call sign, please.
KI5 UKF, Steve.
Go ahead.
Hey, Aaron. Just curious as to what your resonant points were on your in-fed halfway that you ended up getting. I bought the only antenna that I have other than my VHF. I bought a 65-foot that does 40, 15, 10, I think 15, 12, and 10. I think. Just curious what you got as far as what your resonant is.
Yeah, that's a good question. I got pretty much one that was along the same lines of the one that Ernesto let me borrow. So I know 80s on there. I know 40 and 20 and 10 are on there. I'm pretty sure I saw 20 and what is it, 18 or 17? I get them all confused. 18 or 17, whatever that one is. I'm pretty sure I saw those on there, but we'll see. The one that I've been using so far, I could only get it to, I could listen okay, but I could only tune it on 40 meters and I think 10 meters, maybe 15 or 17. So that's kind of where I'm hoping that I can kind of just get a little higher up with this one, like be a little bit more, take a little bit more risks or whatever, or not worry too much about getting it back down. And maybe I can just get some better resonance on some of those other frequencies as well. But yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, 5HP, back to you.
Yeah, KI5 UKF. Aaron, I totally understand your kind of regret scenario on the cost or whatever. I bought mine, and for like a little bit more, I could have added 80 meters, and I just didn't. At that time, my research didn't really include that as an important band for me, and now I kind of wish I had included that. So best of luck to you, KI5 UKF, back to net control.
All right, I understand I got a little bit of bacon fry going on. Is this sounding any...
This is KI5 UKF. Chad, we heard you say bacon fry, and does it sound a little bit, and then you cut out?
Roger, yeah, I hear my signal was not coming in very good according to the folks on Discord, and so I was just curious if I'm coming in any better now. KC5AJE.
I think it's good enough. Is the AI5HP, just rock on, Chad.
Fair enough. All right, we'll
KC5AJEWZ5 BBS, are you there, Chad?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of static or feedback that's coming in through my radio. I was trying to see if
KI5 UKF. Chad, looks like your last three transmissions, at least on my end, you're starting off for about 3 or 4 seconds, and then we're cutting to silence. Over. K5BZI. Do we need a backup?
Yeah, I think Chad's having some radio problems.
Okay. Well, let's see. Where were we? I had stepped away for a hot second, so where are we?
This is AI5HP, Aaron here. Yeah, Chad was on me. I was, I think, second on his list, but I don't know who was. I wasn't keeping track of who all had checked in short time after me.
W02CO.
All right.
I've got
W0. I see that you just posted the list, or no, Chad posted the list for short time. Somebody want to take over? I can take over short time if somebody else wants to take over the rest of the net after a regular check-in. AI5HP here.
I can just take over from here. No sweat. So let's see. Yeah, it looks like we were at AI5HP. Aaron, are you done? Did you have anything else for us tonight?
Thanks, Ray. I think I'm done, but thanks everybody, and thanks Chad, and thank you Ray for stepping in here tonight. This is how we do it, man. Everybody backs each other up. So yeah, this is AI5HP back to net control, back up.
Alrighty, man. Well, thank you so much, and let's hope Chad gets his stuff worked out. I have been there. We've all been there, and I'm sure he'll get something going on over there eventually. Well, let's see. So, next on the list was Kilo India 5 Yankee India Alpha, no traffic. After that was Whiskey 5 WTH. What the heck? No traffic there either. And let's see, KI 6 HQT. Thanks for checking in. No traffic. And who else? Kilo India 5 UKF. That sounds like Steve. Checked in. No traffic as well. Good to hear from you, Steve. Have a great weekend. And finally, KI 5 Zebra I have that letter in my call sign. I shouldn't have so much trouble with it. Kilo India 5 Zulu India Bravo. It's almost like my call sign, but different. Hey, Brandon. No traffic. Thanks for checking in, man. Let me put you in a log here. All right. This is K5BZI Ray down here in South Austin, Texas, taking over for net control. If you'd like to follow along with my check-ins, you can do so by downloading and installing NetLogger, which is a free piece of software at netlogger.org. I have just updated it with everyone who has checked in so far. And with that, we're going to go into a second round of short-time check-ins. If you'd like to check in short time tonight, come with your name and call sign, please. All right, nothing heard. Well, in that case, let me give a station ID. You are listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net, call sign N5OAK. We're here every Thursday night and you never really know what you're going to get as far as net control. It is a controlled net, which means that all stations should refrain from transmitting until designated check-in or comment times. We've just done short-time check-ins, and it looks like tonight's general class exam question. Looks like we might have a little mix-up tonight with general class and extra class exam questions. So let's start off with general class, and that would be Aaron. Alpha India 5 Hotel Papa, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, 5HP here. I think the general exam is being done by Andrew.
Okay, I was going off the log here, so Andrew, take it away, buddy.
I will be doing the general exam questions tonight, and how this will work is I will first read the questions, and then I'll open the floor to any technician-level amateurs out there who wish to respond first. Once all of the technician class answer, I will open up the floor to anyone with a general or above license and ask for answers from them. So let's get started. First question tonight comes from G1D, question 2. Question is, what license examinations may you administer when you are an accredited VE holding a general class operator's license? Is it A, general and technician, B, general only, C, technician only, or D, amateur extra, general, and technician? Again, the question. What license examinations may you administer when you are an accredited VE holding a general class operator license? I'll now open the floor to anyone with a technician class license. All right, nothing heard, so let's open the floor up to general and anyone that wishes to answer. I heard someone in there. There was very quiet. Can you try speaking closer to your mic?
That's AC5G for Charlie.
All right, I've got one vote for Charlie. Anyone else?
N5LX.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go with Charlie.
All right, we got 2 for Charlie. Anyone else out there wishing to answer this question this evening? Come with your name and call sign now.
F-I-P-Z-N, Charlie.
All right, we got another vote for Charlie. Anyone else? Name and call sign.
BBS, put me down for Alpha. Don't listen, Philip.
All right, Rusty, we got you down for Alpha. Anyone else? Name and call sign.
KI5 UKF Steve, I also think it's Alpha.
All right, we got the Alphas coming back. Anyone else? Name and call sign. All right, the correct answer to tonight's question. All right, the correct answer to tonight's first question is C. As a general class operator, you may administer tests for technicians only when you are an accredited VE holding a general class operator's license. All right. Question number 10. Why should an amateur operator normally avoid transmitting on 14.1, 18.110, 21.150, 24.930, and 28.2 megahertz? Is it A system of propagation beacon stations operate on these frequencies? B, a system of automatic digital stations operates on these frequencies? C, these frequencies are set aside for emergency operations? Or D, these frequencies are set aside for bulletins from the FCC? I'll open it up to technician level operators. Now come with your name and call sign. All right, nothing heard. Let's open the floor up to anyone with a valid ham radio license. Come with your name and call sign now.
CBS, put me down for Charlie.
All right, Rusty, we got you down for Charlie. Anyone else? Come with your name and call sign.
KC5G for Alpha.
All right, we got a vote for Alpha. Anyone else? Name and call sign, please.
November 5, Lima X-ray for Alpha.
Gotcha. Another vote for Alpha. Anyone else? Name and call sign.
KI5 UKF Steve for Alpha.
All right, another vote for Alpha. Anyone else? Name and call sign.
F5PZN with Alpha.
Alpha is taken away. Anyone else? Name and call sign, please. All right, nothing heard. So the answer as to why should an amateur operator normally avoid transmitting on 14.1, 18.110, 21.150, 24.930, and 28.2 megahertz is Alpha. A system of propagation beacon stations operate on these frequencies. Thanks everyone for playing the general level exam questions tonight. I will hand it over to Aaron, AI5HP for tonight's extra, I think, questions. So, handing it off to you, Aaron.
All right, Andrew. Thank you so much. This is the AI5HP, and I'm back again. And this time I've got, like you said, it's extra. These are extra exam questions. I think I was mentioned on Discord. I might not have been in the general chat, but I'm going through some of these questions, and I have no idea how I passed it. But somehow I did. And if I did it, then all y'all can do it too that still haven't passed it yet. So I have confidence in it. And to that end, I'm going to throw a few of these questions at you so that y'all can just see that this is achievable. Right? It is achievable. So here we go. Let me get ready for the first question. All right. What is one advantage of using ASCII code, that's ASCII, ASCII code, for data communication? So again, what is one advantage of using ASCII code for data communication? Your options are A, it includes built-in error correction features. B, it contains fewer information bits per character than any other code. C, it is possible to transmit both upper and lowercase text. D, it uses one character as a shift code to send numeric and special characters. So since this is extra, I'm just going to open up to all amateur classes. Come with your call sign and your answer here. So, what is one advantage of using ASCII code for data communication? Let's hear your answers.
N5LX, I think it's C, but it's been a long time.
K5BZI, I'm going to go with A. KI5UKF, I'm going to go with Charlie.
WZ5BBS, I'm going to go with Echo.
K9LCY, I'm going to go with Bravo B.
All right, so we had two come in for Charlie, one for Alpha, one for Bravo, and one for Echo. All right, well, the correct answer here, it turns out that in this case the plurality wins. The correct answer is Charlie. The advantage of using ASCII code for data communications is that it is possible to transmit both upper and lowercase text. All right, so the next question. Which of the following factors affect the feed point impedance of an antenna? Again, which of the following factors affect the feed point impedance of an antenna? Now your choices are A, transmission line length, B, antenna height, C, the settings of an antenna tuner at the transmitter, and D, the input power level. I'll repeat it again here. Which of the following factors affect the feed point impedance of an antenna? A, transmission line length, B, antenna height, C, the settings of an antenna tuner at the transmitter, D, the input power level. Go ahead and come with your call sign and your guess, all classes.
This is Bravo.
This is so Fox 5, Delta Pop X-ray, I'll go with Bravo.
BBS, put me down for Charlie.
W0TCO. I'll go with Beta.
KC3NAG, Charlie.
All right, thanks, Randy. Nothing else heard. So I've got 3 for Bravo and 2 for Charlie. The correct answer here is Bravo. The antenna height affects the feed point impedance of your antenna. And just for a little context here, the ground influences the impedance because the antenna capacitively couples to the ground. The higher the antenna, the less the effect of this capacitive coupling. So there you go. See, it wasn't too bad. So like I said, the extra class is achievable, and the club will be doing these exams for anybody who wants to get their license or for anybody who wants to upgrade their license at our next quarterly meeting, or I should say, at the meeting. It'll be immediately following at the same location. Make your plans. I think that's April 15th. So make your plans, start studying up, and we'll see you there. And by the way, and I'm pretty sure this is true for most testing places, and it will probably be true for us, if you pay for one exam and you pass it, then it's always, you can always go on to take the next higher class exam at no extra charge. So you stop when you fail, and then after that point, if you persist, you got to pay again. But that's just something to keep in mind. So it's one fee but you get to keep going. So even if you're just planning to take your general exam, you should still count on being able to, if you count on passing it, then that means that you'll have the option to test for your extra exam as well. So keep that in mind. And with that, I'll give it back to Net Control, K5BZI. This is AI5HP.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Aaron and Andrew, W0TCO, and Aaron, AI5HP for the news tonight. That was or for the questions tonight, and I really liked the extra question. The extra question was an extra question, so that was cool, and it had an extra question, so that's pretty extra. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Let me remind you that you are in fact listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. And my name is Ray, call sign K5BZI. The club's call sign is N50AK. If you're listening and having a hard time getting in, you might be able to do better by going to our All-Star tab at the website, n50ak.org, and looking at the bubble chart there. We have many systems connected to our system every Thursday night, so you might look out and find a system on there that's closer to you. One of those, in fact, as always, is the KA5D system, many of which are located central or north of Austin, Texas. So if you're a Southie or if you're a Northie and having a hard time hitting one of the southernmost repeaters that are a part of the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater network, you might do better off by going through the KA5D system. All right, well, we've gone through short-time check-ins and the exam questions, and next on the agenda is the news. And according to tonight's Net Control agenda, that would be K5BZI, so I'll hand it over to him. News. On Monday evening, February 6, 2023, there was a 7.8 magnitude earthquake that mainly affected Turkey and Syria, but also other neighboring countries, with 3,700 people dead and more than 16,000 injured until the last hours. But it is suspected that there are more. According to information received from the emergency coordinators of the IARU R1 countries and especially Greg Mossop, G0DUB, the emergency communications coordinator for this region, communications in Turkey are mainly on VHF, but transmissions in Turkish have been heard on the frequency 28.540 megahertz, although they can also use 3.777 and 7.092 megahertz. For this reason, we ask our colleagues at IARU R2 to protect those frequencies and be on the lookout in case we can help with anything. As for Syria, it has been reported that apparently there are not many radio amateurs there, so we do not know if there is any frequency in use in that country. Aziz Shasha, Tango Alpha 1 Echo, Turkish Emergency Communications Coordinator, suggested that any help from other countries to this should be coordinated through the Turkish embassy in each country. Humanitarian aid groups from several European countries are currently moving into the affected regions. We appreciate the concern of colleagues from IARU2 member societies for this earthquake, and we offer our condolences to all the people and colleagues in the countries affected by this terrible disaster. In other news, the Norwich Free Academy's Ham Radio Club began in 1944, but had never enjoyed a day like this before. The student-run Ham Radio Club, about a dozen students strong, spent the last 4 months plus on a project to connect with the International Space Station. On Monday, it was mission accomplished. Anthony Girasoli, the NFA Director of Technology, said, quote, "It is the biggest day ever. We've never done anything as big as this in our club, so the students are really excited, and it's all been student-driven." Girasoli helped to secure a $10,000 grant that awarded the NFA Ham Radio Club the new equipment needed to connect with the ISS. Clark Zavit, an NFA freshman member of the Ham Radio Club, said, quote, "All of the students in the club, we've done the research. It's really been a team effort." Students had a 10-minute window to fire off questions to Dr. Josh Casada, a NASA astronaut who has been aboard the ISS for 180 days. Casada was excited and receptive to all the questions that ranged from what astronauts eat aboard the ISS to the impact that zero gravity has on their bodies. Julie Sajecki, a Norwich Free Academy junior and member of the Ham Radio Club, said, "Once you think about this in 20 or 10 years, you are going to say, look what I did in high school. And this will definitely be one of those things you will remember." Zavit added, "This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is definitely an incredible thing." And lastly, with the invention of smartphones and other electronics, some people may feel amateur radio is no longer relevant in today's society. Well, according to the Paducah Amateur Radio Association Secretary Michael Doerr, that's not the case. Quote, "Some people think that ham radio is a dying hobby. That's just not true," Doerr wrote in a release on Tuesday, explaining that there are about 3 million hams worldwide and several thousand in their region alone. According to Doerr, PARA is looking to get local youth involved in the hobby, inviting 8 to 13-year-olds to join in the fun through the, quote, Preteen Talkers program. Thanks to a negotiation between the Amateur Radio Relay League and the Federal Communications Commission, youth interested in joining can take advantage of reduced fees. For people under the age of 18, the $35 license fee has been waived and the $15 testing fee has been reduced to $5. Additionally, PARA is offering a free entry-level handheld radio to each eligible child getting their technician license. Ham radio can help young people, quote, get fired up about science, math, and world geography, the release explains, not to mention social skills learned from being part of a club. Additionally, unlike smartphones, ham radios don't become useless during a power outage or natural disaster, says the release. Okay, well, thanks a bunch there, Ray, and good news for this week. Anybody have any questions or comments about the news this week? Come now with your name and call sign.
N5LX, Sky.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like if you could repeat those frequencies for the Turkey disaster relief.
They are 28.540 megahertz, 3.777, and 7.092.
QSL, thank you.
Roger, roger. Anybody else? All right, right on. Well, I read those news and recorded them last night. So I just hooked my cart machine back up. It's a broadcast radio station cart machine that I bought a few years back, and I've had it disconnected for a while, but I got it hooked up last night, and so that last tape had a little bleed over. Not sure why. Anyhow, that was fun. Okay, well, let's see. Let me remind you, this is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, Thursday Night Net. Our call sign is N5OAK, and my name is Ray, call sign K5BZI. I am net control for the evening. And with that, it is time to pass it on to the Fox News, folks. Fox Hunt News, I should clarify. And with that, I'll give it to MVF. KI5MVF, Jeffrey, are you around?
Yep, KI5MVF here. Am I making it in all right?
Sounding great, my friend.
Thank you. Tonight's Fox Hunt News come on the tails of Ashley, hosting the KI5PZN Fox. She had placed it off of Peace Point, which is out on what is now known as Lady Bird Lake, or Town Lake, you might be more familiar with. It's the little part of the peninsula that sticks out towards Snake Island on the east side of the lake. She placed it there on Friday, and it was left out until Wednesday. I had planned on picking it up on Monday, but you'll see why in a moment, why it's left out. Anyways, I'm going to give congratulations to Ernesto and Enrique, KI5PZN, myself, KI5MVF, N5LX, Guy, John and Diane, KE5RS. And then on Monday, Lance, W5KEX, took a great group of people out there Monday after school. We've got Jude, Elliot, Madeline, Emily, Caroline, and Mr. Tommy they all went out there and hunted that fox Monday after school, and I saw some photos that looked like they had a pretty good time with it. So glad to see fox hunting is making it into that younger crowd. That's it for fox hunting news this week. I don't see anything else on the calendar currently, or at least I didn't when I checked earlier. If you're interested in fox hunting, feel free to find us in the fox hunting Discord channel, or check us out on our website. Rusty will tell you how to find our website and how to join our Discord. Until next week, back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you so much. Anybody else have any other Fox News for us this evening before we move on?
N5LX.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm planning on putting a fox out tomorrow afternoon.
Right on, man. What about north, south, Houston, where you think you might put it?
That's funny. Probably south. It's going to be closer to me. I just don't have a lot of time this weekend, but I have been contemplating putting one near Buda, or Buda, I think as people say around here, but not this weekend. Anyway, I'm going to try to put one out tomorrow. N5LX.
Roger, man. Sounds good. Well, good luck. And, yeah, it's called Buda. The city was named, or the town was named, because the whole area used to be a ranch that was left to the widow of the ranch owner after he passed away. And in Spanish, widow is viuda, and all the cowboys around here said Buda. And so, whenever the Mexicans would say, yeah, it's out there by La Viuda, Buda became the name of the town. A little bit of local trivia for you there. All right, anybody else before we move on? All right, nothing heard. Well, in that case, I will hand it over to our president and social events coordinator / Friday night trivia host extraordinaire, Rusty, WZ5BBS. Go for it, my friend.
Thank you, Ray. Hey, Sky, go find a Buddha in Buda and put a fox behind it. I think that would be a whole lot of fun. Well, for all the new members, and we have quite a few new members to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, we got the Trivia Net right here every Friday at 9 p.m. We had 40 players last week. Last week's winner was Kent, KI5RBT came in first, Scott, KI5OBD coming in second, and Karin, KI5ZPA, Karin coming in third. The elimination rounds have been a little hard, apparently. Joe and Manny made it all the way to round number 3, and everybody else got kicked out way before that. So K5KUA and KI5OBO made it all the way to number 3. It was also Okies versus Roadies. The first Friday of every month we do the Okies versus the Roadies. And man, the Okies are just kicking butt. The Roadies haven't won one yet, so it's 4-0 so far. So way to go to the Okies for making that happen. As far as the player rankings, Kent, KI5RBT, he crept back into first place. He has not been there for a while. So congratulations, Kent, on making that happen. Karin, KI5ZPA, coming in second, and Jared, N5AFC, coming in third. Anybody can play. All you need is a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. We got the bingo, starts at 8:30, so you have something to do while you're hanging out waiting for the net to begin. Check out the player rankings, stats, nat logs, or any more information you want to know about the Friday Night Trivia Net, head over to n5oak.org and click on the Trivia Net tab. So as far as official club business goes, y'all will never believe we're 501 members, and we need to welcome 4 since last Thursday. Rick, AI5JT, We got Blake. Blake doesn't have a call sign yet, but he's working on it. He's over in the Discord. We got Kevin, K5BTX. Kevin, if you're out there listening, K5BTX, you are member 500. So congratulations on that. And then Claude, KI5ZQE. I'm hoping that we hear Claude tonight. Claude plays... We've met him first over on the Trivia Net, and he's got no call sign, so I'm hoping that this is the same Claude. And with KI5ZQE, I'm pretty sure that it is. So I just found out our next club meeting is, well, I didn't find out. It is Saturday, April the 15th, but I just found out that it is also the same weekend as Belton Ham Fest. So we are looking at possibly moving that around because that's a whole lot of ham radio for one day. So more to come on that. I also need to talk to Philip. Philip, if you're listening, we're thinking about that as well. So I don't know what all you've done for our VE test sessions as far as putting dates and whatnot out, but we probably need to figure that out. Whenever we do figure out when our next club meeting is, we also are going to have our first testing session. And that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. To find out all the information, it's on the website right now, and it might be wrong. So we'll get that corrected as soon as possible. Sounds like Sky is going to put out a Fox this weekend. That's always fun. And the other thing, the DMR repeater. The DMR repeater has nets every night. We're actually getting some usage on the DMR repeater. So if you have a DMR radio and you're trying to get it all dialed in and tuned out, go check out the website for all the schedules and all the whatnot. We also have, we got one on Wednesday morning at 2 a.m., the Night Owl net. So if you're a Night Owl and you have a DMR radio, go check it out. It's a lot of fun. The easiest way to stay up to date is to subscribe to the official club calendar. You can do that over at n5oak.org. Just click on the calendar tab to make that happen. And we've got everything. We've got all of our nets. We have the Wilco nets. We have the Austin Amateur Radio Club nets. We've got some D-Star nets. So it's a great resource if you're new to the area and you're just trying to figure out how to do them. And you can get radioactive every day, and that calendar will show you how. I've also got new photos for all the Winter Field Day fun that went on, so if you're not on Discord and you want to see what we did for Winter Field Day, then go check that out on the website, n5oak.org. That's all the fun that I have, Ray. Thanks for taking over, and thanks, Chad, KC5AJE, for making that happen. Andrew, W0TCO, and Aaron, AI5HP. I really love that we have so many people helping out and playing on the nets. So we'll send it back to Ray, K5BZI, WZ5BBS, back to net control.
All right, roger that. Fine business, hot steaming bowl of such business. And thank you again for all you do, Rusty. And if anyone else has any other updates, news, announcements, or any other sort of ham radio related or club related news or announcements, come now with your name and call sign. All right. Nothing heard. We're going to move on then. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. It's about time to move into regular check-ins. But before we do, let me remind you, please try to keep the conversation clean and welcoming for those who are new to the region or the hobby or the frequency or all those things. The regular check-ins portion is the open forum portion where we get to chit-chat back and forth. We can tell stories, ask questions, brag about some new equipment we've got, brag about some new experiences, or ask a question about a project you're working on. Maybe you're stuck on something and can't quite get it to work. I'll tell you right now, there is a wealth of knowledge in the group of folks that join us every Thursday night on this frequency. So if you've got a question, especially if it pertains to the ham radio hobby and or repairs or upgrades, whatever, you'll probably get it answered here tonight. What else? Don't forget that you can follow along with check-ins by downloading NetLogger. NetLogger is a free piece of software you can get off the interwebs, netlogger.org, and look for N5OAK Thursday Night Net, you can follow along with check-ins. There's plenty of folks following along. Also, I am streaming live, as is Andrew from Colorado, so if you'd like to join us in our shacks, you can do that by going to the video channel on Discord, and if you're not with us on Discord, tonight's a great night to do so because there are administrators listening to the net, and they can preview as soon as you request access. And to request access, you do that by going to our website at n5oak.org and clicking on the big purple button. Let's see, what have I forgotten? I don't know. It's funny. You know, when you just jump in, weren't expecting to run a net, it's like my mindset was off doing something else. And now I have to remember what all goes. I think I've got it all covered. I feel like I'm forgetting to mention something. But anyway, I guess I'm not. If you'd like to check in tonight, you do not have to be a licensed... Okay, that's what I was forgetting, and it's coming out all twisted. Let me start over. You do not have to be a club member. In fact, just joining our nets sort of makes you an official club member because we are a free club. We survive off donations, and we'd love to have you. If you are, in fact, a licensed amateur radio operator, especially if you're a new one or new to the club or new to the area, we'd love to hear from you. So with that, I'm going to ask for check-ins, and when I do, keep them coming, and I'll log them. And then as soon as I hear a big long pause where no one else is checking in, I will start at the top of the list and pick on you one at a time and see how you've been. And then I'll open the floor for comments and questions. And then I'll do several rounds of that. So if you don't get caught in, if you don't get checked in the first round, I will do another round afterwards, and maybe two if I need to. All right. This is the N5OAK Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. I am Ray, call sign K5BZI. It is a controlled net, so do not transmit until authorized. And with that, it's time to transmit. If you'd like to check into the net, come now with your name and call sign, please.
This is Kilo Fox 5, Delta Alpha November.
All right. So we had a perfect double there. I got KF5DPX, and he, in fact, did say this is and then let a pause. So it's always a good practice to say this is and then unkey. And if you do that, you can hear if someone else is talking at the same time. And if that happens, just kind of let them finish up, and then you can move on. So let's try that again. Come now with your name and call sign, please.
This is KI5 and LK, Anderson and Mantech.
This Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November, Ernesto in East Austin.
This is KB5MPJ, Jason and Beta.
This is AG5SJ, Micah, no traffic.
This is A5MWA in Oak Hill, Mike.
Alpha Charlie 5 Golf, Philip, no traffic.
This is November 5 Lima X-Ray, Sky in Oak Hill.
This is W0TCO Andrew in Denver, Colorado.
This is Kilo 9 Lima Zulu Yankee, Rob in Lakeway.
right. I hear nothing else. And, boy, Andrew, it looks like if we both try to log contacts, it doesn't not like it. Do you have a full list on your end?
No, I do not. Do you?
No. Let me type them in because I think I remember most of them. Okay. I think I missed one, but we'll figure out who that was, and I apologize for whoever I miss. But starting at the top of the list, we've got Kilo Golf 5 Delta Papa X-Ray. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
This is Foxtrot 5 Delta Papa X-Ray. Doing all right. Not a whole lot of ham radio stuff going on for me. I did cut a lightweight end-fed 20-meter because I plan on taking my Lab 599 out to Colorado. Going to do some skiing out there and try to do a POTA activation while out there. So that's about the only thing I have going on this week.
Right on. Well, you're just busy with the parts on the air stuff, so that's cool. Sounds like it's coming around for you. I have I'm on video, and I've got Anderson. Looks like he's working on a motorcycle in his garage. I'm curious how your bike's been running lately. Have you had to work on it any?
No, I haven't had to. Well, I still got the one older one that's just covered up in the back, rotting basically. But my newer one. It's been running pretty good. It's been having trouble starting, so I'm pretty sure it's a battery because it doesn't have a whole lot of trouble when I hook a jump pack up to it. But if I start it every day, it's good. So today I bought a new battery for it, and I need to put that in. But that's nothing too difficult. And yes, I saw. Is it Anderson that got that Yamaha TW 200? Those are cool little bikes. Over.
Yeah, Roger. It's awesome. I've only seen pictures, but he's got it pretty well tore apart right now. It looks pretty cool, so I'm anxious to give it a ride. All right, man. Well, thanks for checking in tonight. Sounds like you're doing great. And let's see if anyone's got anything for Chris tonight. Guys, we've got KF5DPX here. If you'd like to say hi, come now with your name and call sign.
Hey, Chris. KT3, NAG, Randy. What's that older bike you got rotting away?
Oh, it's not that old. It's a Kawasaki Ninja 500R. I think it's either a 2004. It's an old bike, but I guess they first made it in the mid '80s. So if you saw the first Top Gun, and who hasn't, that was the motorcycle that Tom Cruise was riding around. There's basically two generations of it. I got the second generation, so it was the same bike up until '94, and then they updated a few things and then discontinued it, I think, in 2006. But I got problems with the tank, rust in the tank. I thought tried some electrolysis with it for a while, cleaned the carbs, rebuilt them, then rode it and for about a mile and a half, and the same behavior happened where it starved for fuel into the carbs and dies, and then I have to let it sit for a few hours until the carburetor bowls fill back up, and then I can ride it back home. So that's what's going on with the older bike.
Well, I mean, that sounds just fine to me, man. Like, you know, as long as it's like polished up, I don't care if it runs good, as long as it looks good in my garage. KT3, NAG.
Well, maybe we'll talk. It's covered up in the backyard and whatnot. Maybe I'll get back around to it. But now that I have a working motorcycle, it's a lot less interesting to me.
N5SMO comment.
comment.
Hey, Chris, a lot of the Kawasaki's from around that time frame, in the fuel line, right before it goes into the carburetor, if you pull the fuel line off the carbs and poke up into the fuel line towards the tank, there's a little tiny wedge-shaped micro-screen filter inside the fuel line. Sometimes you can get it with some long, skinny needle nose pliers and pull it out. Other times all you can kind of do is stick a wire up there and kind of poke through it, and then, of course, you destroy it and pull it out. But that was in a lot of cows from that area, from that era. I kind of learned that one the hard way, seeing similar problems to what you're having. N5SMO.
Come on, man, you're cutting in on my maneuvering.
Well, I will definitely look into that. This one they always said it did not have any sort of fuel filter at all, and but maybe that's just unknown. I did add, I had an inline fuel filter in it, which filled up with a lot of rust the first time, and then there's a filter that you can stick in the little fuel rail that right before it tees, and that'll fit inside the fuel line onto the fuel rail and also work as a fuel filter. And I had added that, but I'll poke some. I will take your suggestion.
Yeah, that one that you have there by the rail is probably doing the same function. So I doubt it would have both of them, but just something to check. N5SMO.
All right, well, I appreciate it. KF5DPX, back to net control.
All right, the repeater saved me. I had a mouthful of barbecue, and I needed just enough time for that repeater to identify itself to finish chewing. All right, anybody else have anything for Chris tonight? KF5DPX is here. All right, Roger, nothing I heard. So we will thank you, Chris, for joining us tonight, and have a great weekend. And we will catch you next time around. Next on my list is Anderson himself, KI5NLK. Clean off your hands there, buddy, and jump on in here and tell us all about that motorcycle you're working on there. Yeah, that's a negative copy, hombre. Maybe open the garage door. We can't hear you at all. All right, open the garage. Can you hear me? Much better. Thank you, sir.
Sorry about that. I was being lazy. It's nice weather to be in the garage working. Walk out here and talk. But yeah, I was working on the motorcycle, listening to the net, and it sounded like a lot of craziness happened with radios and stuff. So it's always exciting. As far as radio stuff for me, man, I don't think I've done a whole lot. I've been chatting on the radio on the way home and stuff, and that's about it. I think I got all loaded up during winter field day, and now I'm on my lazy mode. Yeah, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I can understand that. I halfway expected that would happen to me, but we had such success with these old radios, these old military radios that I have at field day, that I've been fired up to give them a whirl. So fired them up and checked into the CW net tonight, and that was pretty cool. But anywho, man, glad you got the box. Glad you're working on it. It is a great night for that, and good luck, man. I hope you get that old thing. Well, it's not even that old. I hope you get it running and purring, because I look forward to taking it for a test ride for you. All right, guys. We've got Anderson, N5NLK here tonight. KI5NLK, I should say. Sorry, I was multitasking. KI5NLK is here tonight with us, guys. If anyone wants to say hi to Anderson, come down with your name and call sign, please.
KI5 DPX.
Was that DPX?
Papa X-Ray, also looking forward to riding that little guy. I've been having my eye on it, so maybe that'll convince me to get one.
Yeah, for sure, man. It may end up on the slot channel depending on how my wife reacts. So it may not be in my hands long. Kind of started putting feelers out there to sell it, just in case. You know how that is.
Well, I got a hard $20 bill burning a hole in my pocket, buddy, so let me know. I'll be right over. All right. Anybody else have anything for Anderson tonight? KI5 NLK is with us.
NAG.
Take it away, Randy.
Hey, Anderson. It was very nice to meet you, and thank you for that nice coffee cup you gave me, man. Like, I really appreciated that.
Hey, I had a I always hear you coming in on the flagship 320, and you know it was more than a pleasure to meet you as well. So can't wait till next time, or whenever we see each other again, right?
Yeah, man, Roger. And yeah, I haven't still logged into the net yet either, so the flagship 320 is probably coming up soon.
All right. That reminds me, those field day guys. If you ever have a chance to make it out to either one of our winter or summer field day events, you really should come. It is really awesome to get to hang out with everybody in person, guys you talk to on frequency all the time, and it really is a great group of guys here. And I mean, if you've never made it to a field day event, I highly recommend that you try to come out on one of them. And I was going to mention that Rusty said that we have a 500th member. And I think the award for being the 500th member is that you get to cuddle a baby goat at Winter Field Day. So that's your award for being the 500th member. Make sure to make it out to Winter Field Day next year. Your odds are really good that you'll get to cuddle a baby goat. All right. Well, let's see. Anybody else? Last call for Anderson. KI5 NLK needs to get back busy on his bike. If anyone's got any last words for him, come now with your name and call sign. Nothing heard. I think Anderson's kind of the biker type. I think you ought to keep it. All right. Next on my list was Ernesto, Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November. What's going on, Ernesto?
KI5PZN. Hey, Ray. Thanks for picking up the net, and hello to everybody on the net. Nothing too exciting, the usual stuff, just a lot of work, but trying to get some time here and there to play with the radios. Haven't been doing a lot of HF lately, but, usually just talking on the repeater when there's a chance. But yeah, nothing too excited, I guess. I checked in for a little bit today into the CW net, so that was fun for just a little bit. I need to fix my 80-meter antenna, so it's not doing really well right now, but let me let it reset. Yeah, that's the plan. After, I guess, once I fix it, I should be able to get there a little bit with better signal. And that's about it. I guess nothing too exciting happening here. Back to net control. This is KI5PZN.
Roger, man. Well, it was good to see you on 11 meters on Discord earlier today. And thanks for flagging that there was some interesting conversations on Freeband. I definitely turned my President Lincoln 2 on and dialed over there, and it was fun to listen to. I appreciate you flagging us on that stuff when it comes around, man. And too bad we couldn't make contact, but I think we might just be a little too close. But anyway, that was interesting stuff. It's a shame that you're not able to work much HF. 10 meters has been incredible. The last few weeks, just quiet band and tons of propagation. You really ought to check it out, Ernesto, and everybody else, actually. Whole lot of stations. I got and Brazil today within an hour of each other on 10 meters. So do check it out, and let's see if anyone's got anything for you, Ernesto. KI5PZN is here, guys. Come say hi. Anybody want to say hi to him? Ernesto. I heard somebody key. We'll try that again. All right. Well, you know, that silence is just because they're so in awe of your presence, Ernesto, that you know, they're embarrassed to talk to you. You're kind of a big deal. So just remember that, my friend. All righty, dude. Have a great weekend. Tell Maria we said hi, and y'all be good. All right. Next on my list is KB5MPJ. That's Jason down there in Buda. Jason, what's going on, brother?
KB5MPJ. Hey, Ray and everybody on the net. Yeah, I guess you saw in Discord that I just missed you there on the CW net, but that was cool to hear your ART-13 on the band. You were coming in good and strong tonight. Just, I guess by the time I got back to you, you'd already moved or something. And as far as other radio stuff, I just ordered some stuff to build a high-powered unin for my antenna so I can get it ready for that old amp that I'm working on. So hope y'all get that stuff and get that built here in the next week or two. And that's pretty much what I've been doing radio-wise. Back to Net Control.
Yeah, roger that, man. For those of you who don't know, we have a Tuesday night simplex, 2-meter simplex night every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on 146.555, and MPJ is a regular there, and big kudos to him for staying late and helping me out with the ART-13 on Tuesday night. I wanted to stretch its legs a little bit after reinstalling it in the shack after field day to make sure that it was operable enough to work the CW net, by the way, which happens every Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. right before this net. It is, in fact, a Morse code net that happens on the technician class portion of the 80-meter band, 3532, give or take, is the frequency there. And Pat, our gracious host, W5WTH, is very, very accommodating, and he was with me tonight. My code was terrible, and he was very accommodating. Thank you, Pat. So you guys go check it out, the CW net, every Thursday night right before this net at 7:30. All right, yeah. Thanks again, Jason. For helping me stretch the legs on the old radio Tuesday night in preparation for tonight. It was a lot of fun. And with that, let's open it up, see if anybody has anything for him. KB5MPJ, our Tuesday night regular and field day regular, and he's also big into Parks on the Air. He's here, and if you'd like to say hi, come now with your name and call sign.
NAG.
Go ahead, Randy.
Hey, Jason. It was really nice meeting you, too. I'm going to keep giving, big plugs for, any of y'all out there really need to go do a field day. You can meet some of the people, but Jason had, a really cool antenna there, and I think I was kind of, so mesmerized by so much going on. I didn't actually ask him anything about it, but, and it was really cool watching him doing some CW along with, I can't remember the other guy's name, on Ray's crazy B-29 aircraft transmitter and receiver. So, howdy, Jason. It's nice. It was very nice to meet you, man.
Hey, Randy. Yeah, it was good to meet you, too. That was fun, hanging out in the tent, working those old radios. I spent most of the time there, either working that old radio or trying some 10-meter in there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that was Matt K5TMT that was working the radio with me. We kind of teamed up to work it because I'm not the best at copying code, and he's a little better than I am. So we kind of sat and listened to it together and tried to make a few contacts. So yeah, good talking to you, Randy. KB5MPJ.
Yeah, and if I may quick add, for you all interested in CW, there's nothing more interesting than watching two guys with their headphones on, sending code and receiving code and trying to figure out what is getting sent back to them and comparing, like, you know, the K is the S, no, it's K, yeah, okay, it's the K, okay. And then, like, start watching them clicking together. It's like a team effort CW thing. It was wild to watch.
I would 100% support that. It was awesome to watch. Those guys worked together, and the interesting dynamic between the two of them was that Jason can receive faster than he can. No, the other way around. Jason can send faster than he can receive, and Matt can receive faster than he can send. So Matt turned out to be the stronger receiver, and then he would hand the key over to Jason to send it back. And it was just fun watching them work together to make contact. That was pretty awesome. And that's the kind of things you see at Field Day, guys. You guys really ought to come to Field Day if you've never been to one. It really is an interesting experience for so many reasons. All right, great stuff. So let's see if anyone else has anything for you tonight, Jason. KB5 MPJ Jason is on the phone way out in Buda, Texas. Behind the Buda in Buda. If you'd like to say hi to Jason, come now with your call sign. All right. Nothing heard. Well, before I let him go, I got to give him a shout out for his chili with beans. It was epic. Thanks for cooking chili for Friday night, Jason. We really enjoyed it. Hope you can do it again next time. All right. Next on my list is Alpha Golf 5 Sierra Juliet. That's Micah. He's out in the Belterra area south off 290 between here and Drip, and he checked in no traffic. He's got a awesome antenna installation down there, and he sounds great, but he doesn't ever want to use it. But that's okay. That's all right. He's got kids and things going on, so we'll let him go. 7-3, Micah. Have a great weekend, dude, and we'll catch you next time around. On the list is my good friend Mike, K5 Mike with Attitude, MWA, whom I saw driving down Slaughter Lane today in his old K2 bouncing around with antennas waving in the air. How you doing, Mike?
Doing okay. Just cleaning up the mess in here in the radio in what I call my shack, my back room. That all the stuff I was pulling out during the icing, you know, that I was looking for this and that and the other, and throwing stuff over my back, you know. So kind of getting everything back into place, and got a couple of boxes in today from DX Engineering, so. And, you know, some power pole, everybody, you can never have enough power pole connectors. So I ordered a big batch of those, and then the others are a couple of, I'm going to go ahead and do lightning arresters this time on the stuff that I've put back up, because I lost one of my towers during the ice event. Well, I call it a tower. I'll let it drop. I call it a tower. You call it a post. It's a couple of sections of fence top rail that give me 20 foot of elevation for one of my antennas, and it caught a limb from the neighbor's tree onto the guy rope, which bent it and like doubled it completely over, bent it in half. So I think the coax that goes up through the inside is toast. I wouldn't trust it, so I'm going to cut about 10 feet of it off and patch that up. And so I got some new guy rope in from DX Engineering. It's much smaller, much probably stronger, and probably will hold up to the sun a lot better than the old stuff I bought at Home Depot that wasn't really guy rope. Anyway, that's about all I've got going, and sorry I missed you there at the intersection, right? K5 Mike Whiskey Alpha, back to net.
Oh, it's all good, man. I didn't even hit the light. I was taking it right on a red, so I wasn't there long, and you had the green, so you went bouncing on through the intersection, so it was a two ships in the dark kind of situation, and I tried to get a hold of you on my radio, and I got a bad feed line in the truck, so it was a failure all the way around on my end. But that's okay, man. You looked like you were having fun cruising down the road in that old thing. I love that truck. All right, man. Well, sorry to hear about your antenna woes, and I'm curious. You did say that part of the failure was that your guy rope was Home Depot special. So I'm curious, was it that paracord stuff, or was it just some cheap twine? Give us a little more information on that, so we'll know for future reference.
Oh, it was one of those things I was throwing up to get, decided I wanted to guy it at one time. So it's that, it's the fairly thick stuff, about maybe as big around as a large ink pen or maybe your little finger or something. And oh man, it was pretty. It was turquoise and multicolored with red and all that, highly visible, but also highly visible to the guy that mows my yard, so he wouldn't run into it. But yeah, it just did not hold up under the sun. It's one of those things you buy in a big bundle. So now I've got the real thing, and also one of the little brackets you slide onto the post and anchor there to tie off to, rather than tying it off to the pole with knots.
Yeah, Roger, man. So a timely upgrade that was timed a little too late, but that's all right. We live and learn, and we do what we got to do. Lord knows I've had some janky antennas hanging over my house, and it's a wonder they never came crashing down. But thankfully, I was able to replace them before a big ice event like last time. And you're not the only one. I've seen pictures all over Discord of folks who lost. Anybody who had anything up on a top rail pretty much gave bent. So, my thoughts go out to all you hams listening who had antenna issues over the ice period. I was lucky, and I did not, but I know plenty did. Alrighty, man. Well, let's see if anyone's got anything for you. K5MWA is here tonight. MWA, Mike with Attitude. Come now with your name and call sign, please. Well, nothing heard, so let me just throw it in there that the next time I go do like a Sonic drive-through kind of car show Tuesday on the fly event with my Chevy, I'm going to call you and see if you can't meet me for a couple hours in that old K2, man. It's pretty cool.
Be K5.
K5. Yeah, I can never remember which one's which. In fact, I don't know the difference. I should probably do a little research on that and know what the difference is. There is a K2 though, right?
K2 might be like one of the summits of Everest or something.
Right, but that's what I thought the truck was named after. Okay, I stand corrected. All right. Anywho, well, thanks for joining us, man, and give the XYL a big hug for us, and have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next time around. All right, next on my list. There was someone else on my list, spot number 14, and we had some log issues earlier, and I lost them, and I don't remember who it is, so bear with me. I will ask when I finish these next three folks who that was that I forgot, and I'll let you jump in there. But before we get to there, let's go to N5LX. Sky, what's going on in your world this week, man?
Hi, Ray. This is N5LX. Not a lot going on. It's been a good week so far. I guess the latest thing I've been working on is my portable rig. And I've got, had a little setback with my mag loop. I'm tweaking the gamma match, and I'm not really experienced with brazing, and so I'm kind of learning as I go along. But I'll have that put back together pretty soon. And then I have a couple of really nice batteries and a charger and a solar charger and a solar panel, and I just got through connectorizing all the cables, and so it'll be fun to get that thing. I'll test it in the backyard and then go out and do a POTA or something. It doesn't matter really, just get out there and have some fun with it.
That's cool. So tell me about your connectorizer. That sounds interesting. Is that something I need to invest in?
It's just a fancy way of saying putting connectors on the ends of wires. I mean, I tend to just buy cable and put connectors on them myself. I don't know, I just kind of enjoy doing it, and you can kind of get what you want that way.
Yeah, roger that, man. I was giving you a hard time for connectorizer. I like that. I'm going to use that. Right on, man. Well, sounds like a good time. And did you lose any antennas or guys or towers or anything during the Ice-Mageddon?
No, a lot of my friends did. I have an attic fan dipole It works okay. I found out that one of the advantages is that it still works when the ice is damaging everybody else's antenna. So that's kind of nice. It's not a real good performer, but it's certainly a good thing to have in an ice storm. So yeah, that was cool. I got a question for you, Reset. I think on Discord the other day you were talking about trying to decode some of those signals maybe from Turkey. I was wondering if you ever figured out what mode it was.
I never did, man. It sounded a whole lot like you were right, it sounded exactly like a version of MSK, and it also, it even had the same sort of like Roger beep tone, I don't know what else to call it. Like at the end of the transmission it would do like a doo-doo-doo-doo-doo or something like that, you know? And it sounded just like the samples of MSK from that audio sample website, but I never did figure out what it was.
Well, let us know on Discord if you do. I'm really curious about that. Anyway, this is N5LX, and thanks for running the net, Ray. Back to you.
Roger that, man. Philip, you're crazy. All right, let's see if anyone's got anything for Sky tonight. N5LX is with us. If you would like to say hi to him, come now with your name and call sign.
K5MWA.
That's easy for you to say. Go ahead, Mike.
Sky and I figured out we live about, I could probably throw a rock if I tried really hard and hit his house, so he's over here in Oak Hill with me. But he and I and I forget who else it was, like weekend or two ago, we thought we were on one of the mornings, like on a Saturday or Sunday, and we all went, hey, I wonder if we could hit that repeater in New York. So we sat and had a QSO over the New York repeater on 10 FM, and he lives like 3 blocks from me. You know, there's 3 of us talking there. They were all awesome.
Now, that's a good story. Sky, so you 3 blocks away from Mike had a conversation with him on the New York repeater on 10 meters. That's pretty cool.
That was funny. I didn't realize it until Mike pointed it out. It was kind of a shock. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I'd never tried a 10-meter repeater before. Anyway, yeah, we need to have an eyeball one of these days. I probably could throw a rock at his house from here. N5LX.
Yeah, Roger. I've been listening to those repeaters actually lately. Last few days, it's pretty fun to listen to. I heard a guy in Ontario, Canada, make a QSO with a guy down in Brazil on one of those 10-meter repeaters. I don't think it was in New York. I think it was in New Jersey, maybe. But anyway, that was fun to hear. All right, anyone else have anything for Sky tonight? N5LX is here. All right, Sky. Sure was good seeing you at Field Day, man. Have a great weekend, and take care of yourself, and we'll catch you next week, if not sooner. Next on my list, all the way from Denver, Boulder, I think it is, Colorado, Whiskey Zero, Tango Charlie Oscar. He did the news. You didn't even know he was thousands of miles away. What's going on, Andrew?
Hey, Ray. Thanks for running the net. Not a whole lot going on. I was able to stop that at an estate sale. Just to listen to various radio frequencies. Also got a really old portable CB that takes 10 AA batteries, and there's another 10-channel scanner that I found for $5 each from an estate sale. So putting those good use. I've got them listening all day and just monitoring the area. But outside of that, I really haven't played too much radio this week. So not a whole lot of new stuff from me. This is W0TCO, back to net control.
Yeah, roger that, man. Well, 10 AA batteries, that's that's quite the power bank there on that little handheld CB radio. Well, keep your ears open on Channel 6. They call it the Super Bowl. There's no excuses on the bowl. That's where all the fun happens. I'm sure that little HT probably does not have sideband, so that's probably going to be your best bet. Channel 6, Channel 11, you'll get some entertainment there. But anyway, thanks again for coming in with tonight's question, and glad to have you in part of the Net Controllers group. We look forward to you hosting that one day. And, yeah, you're coming in just fine. A little cut out there at the very beginning, but I think that was maybe just a throttling issue, but you popped right back in, and we heard everything you said, so all good there. All right, guys, if anyone's got anything for Andrew tonight, W0TCO is here. Come now with your name and call sign.
N5LX.
Take it away, Sky.
Yeah, I haven't been to Colorado in a while. I have some relatives there, so I was wondering if you could maybe just give us a description so I can get a taste of Colorado.
Well, it's I'll give you a taste, but it's how do I put this? Texas would be like a Golden Corral, and Colorado is like French Laundry. It's just way better in every single way, in my opinion. Yeah, it's really nice out here. Loving it a lot. But yeah, that's how I would describe it. W0TCO, back to net control.
So, as a native Texan, I'm curious, Rusty, is there any way we can cut his feed off? I mean, he just dissed Texas hardcore, so that echo link just needs to go. No more. No more.
Oh, we can turn his note off.
Rusty's from Tyler. He knows what I'm talking about. Well, thanks for the diss there, buddy. And let's see let's see if by some crazy means anybody else has anything to say to Andrew, the Texas hater out there in Colorado. I'm kidding, man. If anyone has anything else for him, I bet it's probably that's Sky just posted an image on Discord, and it was like 78 degrees and sunny today, and my shed door is still open. My shack door behind me is still open. You can see it. So how's the weather up that way? I'm curious. It's probably like 85.
Today was a little on the chilly side, but tomorrow is going to be perfect high of like 55 and sunny. Really good. I'll also throw in that Colorado, when we get snow, we know how to handle it. So it's not such a disaster down there when it snows. That's all I got.
Yeah, roger that, man. Well, it's going to be fun having you. Because when we have 20-degree days in August, you're going to be laughing at us from up there. Right on, man. Well, take care, and let's, I guess, move on. Let's see. Next on my list is Kilo 9 Lazy. Kilo 9 Lima Zulu Yankee. That's Rob over there, and he's on Discord video, by the way, guys. If you want to join us in the shack, you can join me and Rob and Andrew all the way up from Nosebleed, Colorado. If you'd like to join us all in the shack, come now onto the Discord channel. But until then, let's check in with Rob. K9LZY, how you doing, buddy?
K9LZY, pretty good. Just had a kind of a lazy week here. Too much work, but I got my Windows remote desktop working so I could FT8 out of while I'm in the office, and also got WFU working so I could twiddle with the knobs virtually. So that was good. Pause for reset. Started working on the 6-meter dipole. Thanks again, K5DCI. I got an old cutting board. Walking out to the garage, my wife's like, "What are you doing with that?" And she goes, where'd you get that? Like, oh, it was buried with all the other cutting boards, so we only used the top one. Pause for reset. And then just, I went down a couple rabbit holes earlier, and I started getting into DMR, or figuring out which DMR radio I want to buy. And I'd kind of be curious to hear what people's thoughts are, is going DMR, and then like the 878, I'm pretty much settled on the Anytone, but 878 or 578. And, just kind of looking at the differences, and I've got a decent handy talk, but now I'm like, I want to get into DMR and see what's next. Back to net.
All right, roger that, man. Well, yeah, good luck with the antenna build. That's exciting. I haven't built an antenna myself in a while. I have, in fact, built one of those cutting board antennas, and they do work great. So I think you're going to do great, and we look forward to hearing you on 6 Meter Monday. And you're doing it at just the right time, too, by the way, because 6 Meter season is coming right up next few weeks, so that's good stuff. The XYL definitely rolls her eyes at me pretty much daily these days. You ought to see all the antennas I got whipping over the house and on the truck, and when we go out of town, I put one on the trunk lid of her car, and that's just kind of the way it goes. She'll get used to it. Well, and one more a quick note, because I see you on video. You need to hold the mic a little closer. Your audio's a little low, but that's all right. We can hear you just fine. With that, let's open it up. He had a question for you guys when it comes to HTs, if anyone has an answer for him. We've got Rob here, K9LZY is with us. Come now with your name and call sign, please. Rob, do me a favor and ask that question again a little closer to the mic.
K9LZY, yeah. I'm just thinking about DMR radios, and I'm looking at the 878 or the 578. I'm pretty much settled on the Anytone. Not going proprietary, Yaesu or ICOM. But yeah, what are people's thoughts on the difference between the two?
Anybody got any experience with the 878s or 578 Anytone radios? Come back. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, I've actually got the 878. I assume it's still the latest one. It's got the send and receive APRS on it. It's not a bad radio. Kind of wish I'd gotten the base station spaced at where, just because of my location and how far I am from the repeater, I can get in. If I really try and stretch on the back porch with a good antenna, I can get in on the HD, but kind of wish I'd gone for the 578 instead for that. It's a little buggy too. I've had it just kind of like freeze up and lock up on me. So there is that. Other than that, I do love the APRS function. Not a huge fan of DMR like I thought I would be. I've also got the FTN 300 that has the C4FM, and I definitely appreciate that a lot more. Back to you.
K9LZY. Yeah, that's interesting, because I was looking at the 200, the Yaesu 200, and I was like, trying to pick between the two, and I'll definitely go with the more of a mobile base station versus handy talk. The extra wattage will come in handy if I put it in the car or the truck and start driving around. Thanks for that, too, on the bugginess. I was wondering about that and a little bit worried, so thanks again, and back to that.
All right. Thanks for the feedback there. Anybody else have any input on these Anytone radios? Come now. All right, nothing heard. Well, thanks very much for checking in tonight there, Rob, and have a great weekend, and good luck on your purchase. I hope you make the right one. No pressure. All right. That represents the end of my regular check-in, which means that I did, in fact, forget somebody. So who did I forget? Come now with your call sign, please. I know there was someone that had checked in that we had some logging issues here, and it got blanked out. Who was that person? Come check in now, please.
This is KI5ZIB, Brandon in South Austin.
That's who it was. Kilo India 5, Zulu India Bravo. Is that correct?
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead, Brandon. What's new with you this week?
Well, just got my first power supply and my first mobile radio that I'm using as a base station. I actually just hooked it up during the net tonight, so I'm off the Baofeng. Probably put this into my truck in the next week or so and try to get a better base station. But yeah, just excited to feel a little bit more powerful right now. Over.
Oh yeah, man. Everybody on video right now is shaking their heads. Yep, been there, done that, know the feeling, and it is a great feeling. Congratulations, man. That's great. You know, there's still quite a few hams that still just use mobile rigs as their home base station for 2 meters and 70 centimeters, and so, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, the only drawback being that you don't have any sideband capability, which eventually you'll probably want, but in the meantime, you're doing just fine, brother, and you sound really, really good. So congrats on the new upgrade there, and let us know when the next one happens. Let's see, Brandon's here, guys. KI5ZIB. If anyone has anything, ZIB, BZI, ZI, that's going to tongue-tie me every time, I bet. KI5ZIB is here, guys. Brandon's with us. If anyone has anything for him, come now with your name and call sign. All right, nothing heard. Thanks, Brandon, for rechecking in, and I guess I would open it up and for another round of check-ins. Let me remind you that you're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net. Our call sign is N5OAK. My name is Ray, call sign K5BZI. I am net control. It is a controlled net, which means the station should not transmit until designated check-in or comment times, and right now is a check-in time. So come now with your name and call sign if you'd like to check in.
This is WZ5BBS Rusty, South Dallas.
This is KC3 NAG Randy Anderson Mill coming in on the flagship 320.
This is Alpha India 5 Juliet Tango, Rick at Highland.
This is Whiskey 5 Golf Charlie Hotel, Ron and Driftwood.
Well, that was a short run, but we got some folks in there. Let's check in with Rusty, WZ5BBS. Hey, man, what you been up to this week?
Man, just getting back to normal. I got the cable back on, what was it, Monday, Tuesday, somewhere around in there. Got a bunch of firewood stocked up for the next craziness that comes through. I started doing my usual walks again around the neighborhood, and man, it looks like a bomb went off in this entire neighborhood. So we took one for the team for sure, and it looks like this is going to be happening, you know, like once a year. So I've got plenty of firewood now, and man, just kind of recouping from all that. Haven't really got to do a whole lot of radio, and just looking forward to trivia tomorrow night. And the other thing, it's Valentine's Day is on Tuesday, gentlemen and ladies. So make sure you don't forget about all that. That's about all I got, Ray. WZ5BBS, back to you.
All I can say about that last comment is, good God. Okay, Valentine's Day. I can do this. We'll get through this. All right, man. Well, thanks for reminding me. I think we're going to Uchi. I think Ali's got me all signed up for that already. And yeah, getting back to normal. I know that feeling. Yeah, I finally got the sack put back together. And I actually, you know, getting these military radios out of here is pretty destructive. But I got them all back in. They're all doing well, so we're good to go. All right, guys. It's WZ5BBS with us. He's excited about Valentine's Day. He's a big romantic, that guy. He's a big mushy guy. So come say hi to him. Come down with your name and call sign.
BZN.
Go ahead, Anderson.
Get back outside so that you can hear me. I say thanks to Rusty for reminding me because I would have totally forgotten on that. So.
I got the gist of that, and you're very welcome, Anderson. Yeah, Valentine's Day. Don't miss it, or you'll be in the doghouse. And they put it on the news this morning, and I was like, oh hey, what do you know? And then I went to HEB, and it's just like heart-filled balloons, and there's hearts on everything. So Valentine's Day Tuesday. Go buy chocolates and candies and reservations and all that kinds of fun. You're welcome, Anderson. Have a good weekend, man.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Anderson spends the whole weekend in his garage working on a motorcycle she didn't want him to bring home, and then he forgets Valentine's Day. That would have been bad news. I think you just saved a marriage there, Rusty. All right, anybody else want their marriage saved? Come now and check in with Rusty. WZ5BBS is here.
You just put a bow on the bike and tell her it's for her, and then problem solved.
I don't think the bike is what he needs to put a bow on. All right. Anybody else want to check in with Rusty? All right, nothing heard. Have a great weekend, man. It's always good to hear you, and we'll catch you later on down the road. Next on my list is our field day newbie, KC3NAG. Randy coming in on the flagship 320. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ray, and everybody in the group. And let me tell you where the flagship thing, I mean, that was something like, Sammy called it the flagship, and him and I used to talk in the afternoons occasionally when there's like nobody around, so I actually got to know him pretty well. And there was something about, the pride of his flagship 320, and I started going like, coming in on the flagship 320, and I knew it just like made him like really happy. So like I always just kind of kept sort of doing it. Let me let it drop for a sec. On another note, the guy in Colorado, like, come on, Ray, give him a break. I mean, look at it from this point of view. If you took all of Texas and you squished it down to the size of Colorado, you really would have a pretty place. Dallas is, 45 minutes away. Houston, 45 minutes, and there's gold mining. Oh, there's no gold in Texas. Where's the ski resorts? Okay. So if you squish Texas down, I think that's what Colorado is. I'm gonna let it break here again. After field day, I had a blast. Very, 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 very interesting, fun thing to do. And one of the reasons for field day is for emergency communication, which leads into my story. So I get in the truck with Ray Friday afternoon. We got generators running, no sleep, get home Sunday, and I'm looking at the weather. It's like, dude, I think there's an ice storm coming. I better get my stuff ready, which I usually do and whatnot. And power goes out Tuesday morning, and I run under generators until Monday night. Taking care of my 88-year-old mom. I've got a heater in the room. It's 75, 80 degrees. She's complaining it's cold. But it didn't knock my internet cable down. So I actually had some power and internet, and the rest of the houses around here, the power cables ripped the meter boxes off the houses. So anyways, I have a little power, I could ramble on forever. KC3 NAG, back to you.
Wow, so much to unpack. That's a crazy story of ripping the meter boxes off the house. Man, it just goes to show how lucky we got down here. And knowing your neighborhood as I do now, I can see where that would be the case because you basically live in a forest. So I'm not surprised that that happened in your neighborhood. I'm kind of glad. It sounds like you, even though lost power, got kind of lucky in relation to your neighbors. So glad to hear that. And there was what was it you said about? Man, I just completely lost my train of thought. The train has left the station, folks. I really wanted to comment on something you said, and I can't remember what it was. But anyway, I guess I'll let that pass and open it up for comments. If anyone's got anything for Randy. By the way, Randy, it really was great having you there, man, and we look forward to having you out the next one. And I'm really glad you had a good time. If anyone's got anything for Randy, KC3 NAG is here with us. Come now with your name and call sign.
W0TCO.
Go ahead.
Randy, you make really good points that, if you shrunk down Texas to the size of Colorado, they'd be pretty comparable. You got the Denver Metro, which is Austin, Houston, Dallas, the metropolis, and then the further west you go, you got the park out there with all the mountains and stuff and the deserts, and that's kind of how Colorado is. So you're really not too far off there. Just missing a few seasons, and yeah, Texas could be the next Colorado. W0TCO, back to net.
Yeah, man, no worries. I mean, it's all about scale.
Size doesn't matter. But yes, Andrew, Andrew's lucky because he got to be the guy that I picked on tonight, so I could make some content for my little social media podcast that I'm doing tonight. So that's awesome. Thank you, Andrew, for that. And but yes, good to be back there. And very true. We've got all the same aspects that Colorado has. Colorado has desert too, like Texas has. It's just a lot closer. It doesn't take you 4 hours to get to it from Austin, so that's cool. I like Colorado a lot. I actually went there. I've been there a few times. I actually had a client in Boulder and spent quite a bit of time in Boulder, and I was a big fan of that town. You just don't want to be there in the winter because I hear you get trapped in the snow, but that's another story. All right. Anybody else got anything for Randy tonight? KC3 NAG's here.
Randy, MW8.
Go ahead, sir.
Speaking of ripping things down, that was, I had not heard about the meters getting ripped off the walls, but I know Ray and some of us were talking in Tuesday Night Simplex about the tower that fell, and I got a little more info on that. It was a 300-footer out on Buckman Mountain. It was a very old tower. In fact, I got this from somebody that helps work on those. Old tower, and the ice was actually probably doing them a favor because that tower's needed to come down for a really long time. And that's kind of what I got. Anyway, back to Ned.
So for those of you who don't know the context of this, on Tuesday night, someone brought up the fact that there had been a tower that collapsed in Austin over the ice storm, and it had actually apparently had a few TV stations on it. Some of the over-the-air stations had to move channels. Some of them were actually knocked off the air semi-permanently, I guess, because of it. And no one could really identify exactly where it was. Now, I'm curious, Buckman Mountain, as I had mentioned on Tuesday night, I've been to the base of those towers on Buckman Mountain, and those are some biggies. Those are like, according to the K5TR, those are like 1,000 feet plus tall towers. So if one of those came down, it would take out a lot of houses around it, because those houses are built right up to the base of those towers, man. And so I'm curious still, even 300 feet's pretty tall. I'm curious if there was any property damage. But anyway, thanks for the update there, and I'm still kind of curious exactly where it was and how it did not take out a house on the way down. Anyway, Randy, any comments on that?
Yeah, well, I know where those towers are, and I mean, and I've seen the map. I know there's some houses like pretty close. I don't know, but back to ripping power meters off. Like, there's two houses behind me that they still don't have electricity. What the deal is, you got to get an electrician to come in, file a permit. He does the work, and then you got to have the city come back out and approve the electrical work, and then the utility company will hook the last of the power up or whatever and turn it back on. My neighbor across the street, same way. He just got power on today, man. All the tops of the trees where I live, like I have like 60-foot trees, mixed oak, elm, ash stuff. I've got like 10 in the front yard and 10 in the back, and so does everybody else. It literally has ripped all the tops off the trees like a high sheer wind came through and just tore it all off and dumped all these branches on the ground. I mean, it's like, hurricane-looking crap. So, pretty impressive ice storm here. KC3 NAG, back to that.
That's a pretty good description, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly what happened. Those trees were frozen, and a high wind came through and just took the tops off. And on the meters being ripped off the house, repair time. The first time I ever went to Acapulco, it was like a month after a massive hurricane went through there, and there was only like 3 bars open in the whole city because all of the big bars like Carlos and Charlie's and such were still waiting on insurance appraisals. So, I could only imagine if my, power meter had gotten ripped off the side of my house, I would probably want to claim home insurance on it. So that takes time. And then you got to go through the process of having the contractors get the permits and all that. So that whole process must be a total pain in the neck, and I'm very glad that you, skimmed by with your teeth on that one.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. But, all being said, the process has gone through, like, relatively quickly. Like, within 3 days or 5, I don't know, since Tuesday or whatever. I don't know. I've had no sleep. I've been feeling the generator 24/7 for, like, a week now. So, I'm on break.
Right, because you've got the power back now, right?
Yeah, I came back on Tuesday, but like I said, I've been with you since last Friday, with nothing but generators running 24/7 and all the noise and stuff. So that's been my life in the camper with you, Ray.
Yeah, Roger. You're going to be hearing. Anyway, glad you survived. Glad Mom's okay, and you guys take care of yourselves up there. And of course, let us know if there's anything you need. Alrighty, guys, we're going to move on from Randy now and go down here to Rick, AI5 Juliet Tango out in Leander. Alpha India 5 Juliet Tango. Leander took it pretty tough up there. How you surviving? Go ahead. Hey there, Rick. You're not quite holding a repeater, man. We didn't quite copy that. If you've got a copy table you can stand on or step outside or something, why don't you give that a shot and try us again. AI5 Juliet Tango, go ahead. AI5. Yeah, no copy. You want to try it one more time? All right. Let's say AI5 Juliet Tango. Again, please. All right. We'll check back in with Rick here in a little bit. See if he can't get something going there power-wise or stand on top of a ladder or, I don't know, grow a couple feet. But in the meantime, let's go check in with Ron out in Driftwood. W5GCH. Ron sits on top of like Mount Everest out there in Driftwood, so I know we can hear him. What's going on, Ron?
Yeah, good evening, Ray, and everybody on the net. Just staying busy out here, cleaning up from the ice damage, broke down trees. Been doing some burning out here and trying to get rid of some of it, and that's pretty much been my activity around here. And just reflecting on the field day, I was just remembering that I was talking to a gentleman out there that was from Eastland, Texas, and I said, well, I've been out there. In fact, there's a restaurant near there called the Smokestack Restaurant. He says, oh, well, I happen to be the owner of it. And so I was just kind of blown away. Anyway, it's kind of amazing the people you meet all around Texas. So, other than that, another person out there at field day, he had a brand new Zigu X6100 that he was playing with, and looked like a really neat radio. Nice portable unit, has good display on it, and looked fairly functional. So I was kind of interested in that. But that's about all I got going on for me. W5GCH, back to net control.
Well, it is a small world after all, isn't it? Well, that's awesome, man. I didn't hear that story. That's pretty cool, man. As always, great to see you out there, man. I was really expecting to see you, and when I turned around and saw you standing there, it was good to see you, man. It made me smile. So thank you for making the trip out to field day when you do. It's always a pleasure having you out there. Guys, we got Ron from out in Driftwood. He's also a Tuesday night Simplex regular. W5GCH is with us. Come now with your name and call sign. All right, nothing heard. Well, thanks for checking in again, Ron, man. It's always good hearing from you. And you guys be safe out there. And with that, that is the end of my second round check-ins. If anyone would like to check in for a third round, you're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. N50AK is our call sign. My name is Ray, call sign K5BZI. So if you'd like to check in with us tonight, come now with your name and call sign, please. Last call for regular check-ins for the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. Come now with your name and call sign if you'd like to check in with us. All right, nothing heard. Well, thanks everybody for checking in tonight. Let me remind you that on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. there is the weekly wind-up net with Team Maria, Team Ernest. How does BBS say it? Ernesto Rea? I don't remember. Anyhow, there is on Sunday nights on this and the KA5D frequency that you can check into on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. And it's a good wind-down net. It's a lot of fun. Go check out Ernesto and Maria with that. Monday nights is still 6-meter Monday. It's been pretty rough lately because propagation's crap, but it's about to be 6-meter season, so get your antennas built. Talking to you there, LZY, and we'll hear you on Monday nights. 8 p.m. starts at 50.125, and it'll go all over the place from there. So get your 6-meter gear warmed up and prepared for 6-meter season coming up here real soon. Tuesday nights, as I mentioned ad nauseum tonight, is the Southside Simplex night. The frequency is 146.555, and we start at 8 p.m. 2-meter Simplex every Tuesday night. Wednesday night, of course, is the UT Amateur Radio Club's regular Wednesday night net. It starts at 8 p.m. on this and the KA5D system. Great group of guys over there at the UT Club. In fact, they are regulars on our frequency, as are we on theirs. So go support those guys on Wednesday nights on this and the KA5D system, Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Thursday nights are where all the fun is. well, that's not true. Friday night's better, but Thursday night's pretty cool too. We have CWNet starts at 7:30 p.m. on 3532, give or take, on the technician class portion of the 70 or the 80 meter band. I always want to call it 75 meters, but that's like up 3916. It's the 80 meter band, and so the technicians can do that. CW as well, and W5WTH is a gracious host. So come join us on Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. for CWNet. And of course, after that net is this net, the regular Thursday night N508K social net. It's a good net. It's been going on for 18 years, and you never know who you're going to get as MC. And tonight you were unlucky enough to have me. So be sure to come join us every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Friday nights is Rusty's night. That's the trivia night. It starts at 9. So you can take care of your business. You know, wrap up your work, get the job done, get the happy hour with the fellow employees out of the way, and get home in time for trivia. You don't need a computer. You don't need the internet. All you need is a phone, really. You can do it from a cell phone browser. You don't need a radio, but it's a lot cooler if you do. Just go to the website at n508k.org and click on TriviaNet, and the game will load up in a browser. You don't have to download anything, and it's a lot of fun. So play trivia on Friday nights with Rusty and the gang. And by the way, that game has been growing a lot. Like, we've got lots of networks. We've got the guys down south connecting to us. We've got other networks from all around connecting to us. I think the last number that came in was something like 30 or 32 players. So this game's getting out of hand, guys. Go check it out. It's the new big deal. And of course, there's nets on Saturdays, but there's also all kinds of cool stuff on Saturdays, like fox hunts and things that the club does. We've got guys that do summits on the air, parks on the air, you know, jailhouse parking lots on the air, all that kind of thing. So if you want to do some on-the-air activities, odds are there's something going on and probably a club member involved. So check us out on Discord for information on that stuff and find out where the club members are on Saturday. And if you're not a member of Discord, you can do so by going to our website, n508k.org, and clicking the big purple button to join us. And that's about wraps up the net tonight. Let me open it up and see if anybody else has any last business for us tonight. If you'd like to mention something tonight before we shut her down, come now with your name and call sign.
KB5MPJ.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I thought I heard you say that Modesto's net, that's what Rusty says, Ernesto and Morea, their net is, I think you said 7 o'clock, but it starts at 7:30 on Sunday nights. So, yeah, 7:30, because people show up at 7, might not be anybody there. KB5MPJ.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I appreciate that. I had that wrong. You're right, it's 7:30. Thank you very much. Note that on your logs and scratch my recommendation off as 7 o'clock. It's actually at 7:30. Anybody else have anything for us tonight?
NAG.
Go ahead, Randall.
When's the next field day, man? I'm ready.
I love it. He's been bitten by the field day bug, man, as we all have. The next field day is Summer Field Day, which is held always the last weekend in June. We have a field day channel on Discord, and we've already had several folks, myself included, reserve spaces at Ranch 3232, which is just up the street from Pedernales Falls State Park. So if you guys would like to come join us for Summer Field Day, I don't recommend staying in a tent if you plan to spend the night. I don't recommend staying in a tent because it's usually about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit that weekend. So that's why we stay at Ranch 3232, so that those of us who have RVs can park them in RV spots, and those of us who don't can rent cabins. And by the way, there is a big cabin out there that sleeps multiple people. I think we rented it one year and it slept maybe 5 different people. So join us on the Field Day channel on Discord to make arrangements for that if you're interested. And as far as I understand, I think that cabin is still available for that weekend. Last weekend in June. All right, anybody else have anything for us? Okay, nothing heard. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Big shout out to our original net control operator who had some serious issues with his system tonight. Sorry you had problems there. I hope you get it all worked out there. And we'll catch you next time around. Maybe you can host next week. That was Chad, KC5AJE. Chad, I hope you get your issues worked out. We've all been there, man. Just a few weeks ago, I think my whole system went down, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Rusty. Maybe he had to jump in for me. But anyway, Chad, I hope you get your stuff fixed, and we'll catch you next time around. That wraps it up for the net this week, guys. 73, everybody. As always, it was fun as always, and glad to hear from everybody. And y'all have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next time around. This frequency is now returned to regular amateur use. K5BZI clear.
Good one, Ray. You're a trooper. Yeah, I'm okay.
Thanks, man.
KF5CCN from WB5TXW, over.